Valve has upgraded the Steam Deck, but is it actually an upgrade worth buying? Let's look at the changes Valve has made and see if it's worth your dollars. If there is anything we can say about Valve, it is that they are constantly hard at work making sure that they are giving players the best that they have. Since the Steam Deck's launch almost 2 years ago, we have seen this through a multitude of software updates, patches, and bug fixes. But software can only take us so far, and Valve knows that. With the announcement of the new Steam Deck OLED, we found that Valve did not just update the screen, but has improved the entire Steam Deck as a whole. However, they did want to make very clear that this is not the Steam Deck 2, and I understand why. To truly call it a second generation system, it would need a complete overhaul, not just an upgrade to the current hardware. We are so used to phone manufacturers doing this, where they come out with a new phone every year and call it the next generation, only to have made some minor update to the camera, but those updates are only noticeable on paper. I am proud of Valve for not being as shallow by slapping Steam Deck 2 on the side of the box when it really isn't. That's not to say that this new OLED version of the deck is something to be overlooked. The three primary reasons we upgrade our gaming systems or computers is to have better graphics, better performance, and better battery life. The Steam Deck OLED brings just that. Better graphics, not in the traditional computing sense that there is a better graphics card, but in the visual by providing a better and bigger screen. We are going from a 7-inch LCD backlit display with 60 Hz refresh rate and 400 nits brightness, over to a 7.4-inch OLED display with up to 90 Hz refresh rate and 600 nits standard and 1000 nits peak brightness. Just these upgrades are going to provide us with more vibrant colors, better lights, darker blacks, and a smoother frame rate. But like I said before, the upgrades are not just in the screen. Valve has also improved the performance by upgrading the APU and RAM for faster processing, installed Wi-Fi 6E for faster download speeds, added a dedicated Bluetooth 5.3 antenna for accessories like controllers to decrease lag time, and upgraded the touch controls for increased response time. Though Valve says the OLED Steam Deck will have the same performance as the previous model, that has obviously not been the case. And if better visuals and better processing was not enough, one of the biggest complaints about the Steam Deck has been addressed as well: the battery life. The LCD version claims 2 to 8 hours of battery life, and unless you're streaming all your games or just playing old gen emulators, you are probably closer to the 2 hours than anything else. With the OLED Steam Deck, they are claiming 3 to 12 hours. I know 1 hour on the low end doesn't seem like much, but an additional 4 hours on the top end? That's a huge leap. And all the people I've seen who are able to test this, they are looking more on the average of 4 to 5 hours. So an additional 2 hours of battery life is a huge win in my book. And these are just the major updates Valve has made, not to mention the new look of the buttons and thumbsticks, or the on-screen keyboard that feels so much better, one that you might actually want to use. But the question is it worth it if you already have the LCD version? For another $550 for the 512 gig model, or $650 for the terabyte model, I would say no. If you already have the LCD version, the upgrades are not worth the additional price, unless you just have the money laying around and would like to spend it. I mean, if you could sell the LCD for a good chunk of that cost, then sure, I would say paying an additional $150 to $200 would make it a worthwhile upgrade. And I think that is what Valve was going for. An upgrade, not a brand new system, one that will increase the experience of their player base who desire to have the best experience possible. And it was a smart move to stay ahead of the ever-growing competition. With other manufacturers coming out with their own version of the handheld gaming computers like the Asus ROG Ally, Valve needed to make an upgraded system to be able to compete, and I think they made the perfect one.